have the daily time frame. Let's go on to the weekly. And then on the weekly time frame, we have the weekly fair value gap, which was able to send price higher. As we can see, price rejected the weekly fair value gap. And then we have the daily fair value gap, and we see that price swept sell side liquidity here into the weekly fair value gap, which can be used as a turtle soup entry for longs, if that is your thing. And then, so yeah, we saw this run into here, which was nice to see. Could have bought here and then held up until it runs the buy side here. So yeah, if you're a long-term trader, that is something you can do. But here we work with short-term, very, very short-term trading. So we see the weekly inefficiency send price higher, and then we saw that price continue to create more fair value gaps, and then eventually inversed the daily sell side inefficiency buy side imbalance, if that's the correct way to say it. I don't know. But yeah, we saw it inverse the daily SIBI. Now if we can see a retracement into the opening range gap and into the daily SIBI, and if we could stay at the upper half, that would be indicative of sending price higher to the buy side liquidity, and would also provide long entries for smart money to participate in longs here in this general area inside the upper half of the opening range gap and inside the upper half of the daily SIBI. And if it would be nicer to see if it could do that whilst running the sell side liquidity here, which is going to be seen more properly on the hourly time frame, which is this one. So yeah, and then all in all, we are bullish, in my opinion. And let's go on to the 15 minutes, and I'll be displaying a setup that a person could have took today. So using this 15-minute inefficiency. So we see that price delivered here past these highs with speed. So that is indicative of sending price higher. And yeah, you see speed past those highs, and then we see a retracement into a fair value gap. So now the continuation model, is starting to cook up. So now we have sell side here. Price ran sell side at like 10 o'clock here, so that's always nice to see. Running sell side into a 15-minute inefficiency in the form of a retracement, if that makes sense altogether. And also here we have buy side liquidity. That was the next objective after running the sell side. So yeah, it's always nice to see these occurrences happen, and it makes taking setups easier. But since it's a Monday, you won't always expect to get the best price action. For example, order flow signatures here are denied right here. Everything is choppy, nothing is moving, but as long as we stayed at the upper half of the buy side fair value gap here, of the bullish fair value gap, that was indicative of sending price higher, and it did so nicely. If you wanted to, you could have used the fair value gap before the liquidity sweep, which the liquidity sweep is this one. Could have used this fair value gap, took entries on it for longs. But personally, I wouldn't take. I don't take anything on Mondays. I don't trade on Mondays. I always sit on my hands on Mondays because Mondays are unpredictable. Everyone wants to be in the marketplace on Mondays because they're so eager to get on the marketplace. You see. So yeah, this is what I would take. I'd get my stop loss at the midpoint of this wick. Yeah, after seeing this response, of course, and then this run higher, I would assume that price wants to be bullish and doesn't want to revisit this bottom area. It just wouldn't make sense, and also time allows it. And then yeah, we see that, and then into the macro time. The macro indicates to us that we want to go higher by creating this fair value gap, bullish fair value gap. So yeah, that is the review for today.